In the name of the Most High, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I would like to greet all of you in the greeting words of peace. We say them in the Arabic language of Assalamu Alaikum, but in English it simply is a prayer of peace be unto you. And welcome to Refuge Depot's survival tour. We're doing a survival tour, and what we're hoping to spark in our people is a sense of urgency. We are looking at some serious times ahead. Unfortunately, I don't know if you all ever heard of that fable of the grasshopper and the ant. Mm-hmm. And, our people, we are a people who have been taken care of for so long that you could say that we have become domesticated. And when you have a domesticated animal, you have an animal that is not able to live in the wild on its own. It has lost the ability to survive and fend for itself. So what we're here to do is we're here to help our people understand the process of getting back to surviving. So we're talking about disaster preparedness, but also with disaster preparedness comes growing food in our backyards, growing food in a community garden. And so these are all the things that we need to do. So some of the things that, Dayton, we may feel secure, but if you remember, I think it was in 1913, 1914, Dayton was underwater. And so that's one of the hazards that is a possibility too, because if you remember not too long ago, a torrential rain came down in Texas and it killed a number of people. They weren't ready for it. We have Wright Pack Air Force Base. You have the potential threat of so many different threats. Domestic terrorism. We talked about the CME, not the CME, but what was it? EMP. EMP and CMP are both CME. Yeah. Electromagnetic pulse, right? That can knock out electricity. But one of the things that we're looking at right now is winter. Winter is coming, and with the warmth in the air, if you also notice that there's a lot of humidity also in the air, and that is because the ice caps are melting. So there's a lot of humidity in the air. Mm-hmm. So if you remember in the past, we got cold weather, but now you're going to mix that cold weather with the humidity, and you may not be able to get outside your home because you may have snow drifts up to your door where you can't get out. And if that happens, or if it rains and that rain freezes on the power lines and take those power lines down, you may not have electricity. And so how do you keep yourself warm inside your home with no electricity? There is a way, and hopefully we'll get into that. So what I'm going to do is I just want all of you who are watching to go to Refuge Depot's site and sign up for our newsletter, and I'll put that link in the description. And I'm going to now bring on a walking encyclopedia when it comes down to disaster preparedness and survival. I'll let him introduce himself, but I just want to tell you first, before I go forward, that I've been to some workshops that he's put on, and you will not fall asleep. The brother is dynamic and he's thorough. So with that, I would like to introduce Mr. Aaron Olinger.
I've been in disaster preparedness since I was 4 years old. My parents grew up under the Great Depression. We both grew on farms, one in Kentucky, the other one in Greenville, Greenville was actually set up on the 40 acres and a mule program under Reparations Act. So, but now it's probably 85% white because a lot of the children there didn't want the farmland and just sold so they could move to the city. Now you're seeing a lot of people realizing that that's a mistake. The land is so expensive now, it's hard to have a bug out location to go to. And I'm a budget prepper. I can't afford underground bunkers and all this other stuff. And where I live at from here, I don't call my home a home. I call it a homestead because I have gardens set up. I have water harvesting set up. Next year, I will have chickens that I'll be raising in my little backyard. I'm doing the whole ball of wax. I want to be as self-sufficient as possible. That's what my parents taught me. They said that when they grew up on the farms, they learned how to make everything from blood pudding down to butchering their own cattle, their own hogs and stuff, canned their own food, grew their own food. They said their cousins in town used to come out to the farms to try to beg for food because they didn't have no skills. They didn't have no. If it wasn't for them, a lot of family members were starved to death. So the main goal that I want to preach to everybody is to become self-reliant. You know, from 4 years old up, my parents pushed me. And then when I got to be a teenager, you know, I wanted to chase the women. I didn't want to hear what they had to say anymore, so I rebelled a little bit. But when I got into my 20s, I got back into it real heavy. And I started taking classes. I would do 5 to 6 classes a year, and I still currently do 5 to 6 classes a year. Anywhere I could find, I go take a class. I just took what do you call that? Where you do the chest compress, CPR. I just took a CPR class at Phillips Temple Church, taught by the police, fire department guy with City of Tropplewood. I had to go all the way to Cincinnati to take my CERT training as Community Emergency Response Team. And they wanted me on their team after they saw what my skill levels were. But if some disaster happens, I'm not going to Cincinnati. I'm staying right here. But I've taken firearm courses, gardening courses, first aid, combat medicine. I've taken many different things. I'm constantly seeking knowledge. And I feel that people are never too old to learn something new. Right? Absolutely. So what I want to do today is I want to cover 8 categories today. I kind of got them laid out and how I want to do it. And this is going to be a general overview, and then later we'll get into specifics. But the first category I want to cover is going to be water. Okay. Well, let me tell you what 8 categories are going to be. Assuming that you have a shelter that you're occupying, and that you're going to shelter in place for as long as possible, we're going to cover today water, food, medicine, first aid, and over-the-counter meds. We're going to cover security, which will be weapons, both lethal as well as non-lethal, as well as firearms. We're going to cover security and self-defense, because if you can't defend your preps, what good is it? You're just buying them for somebody else. We're going to cover power needs and supplies, or things that you will need when disaster hits. We're going to cover hygiene, finances, and then after a 6-week period, you'll be able to evaluate whether to stay in that property or bug out. And then I'll show you a couple things that will aid you in the event that you decide to relocate somewhere else. Now, we're living in turbulent times right now. CIA says we have Al-Qaeda operatives, almost 2,200 inside the country, because we're getting into the war of the cartels. Cartels said they have members here that do terrorist acts. We have military-age Iranians, Russians, and Chinese inside this country now. They recently took down a phone server thing in New York City. When they went to his apartment for an unrelated raid, they found nothing but metal racks, 5 high, full of what do you call those, servers? And they were just, and the way it was set up, they would hit the 911 system and the phone system at 30 million calls a minute. And after so many minutes of that, it would cause the cell towers to shut down. Okay. Now, the early calls coming in would have the first responders chasing their tails because they're going to be going up to a bunch of false calls. Right. Then they also found out that there was another location that they raided that was in New Jersey, set up to do the same thing. Take down the 911 system, take down the phone system. And somebody there started going to all the thrift stores out and started buying all the first responder uniforms they could find, all the nursing uniforms, which were scrubs, and all the doctor type uniforms. So they realized that not only was there going to be an attack that was going to follow the phones going down, but there was going to be an attack on the hospitals as well. And, you know, you might see a cop coming towards you, a fireman coming to you, and you're thinking he's friendly, and he's actually a terrorist, and he's going to start shooting at you. And then later that day, when you see the real thing, you're going to be shooting at them, and it's just be total chaos. But right now, they're saying New York is under imminent threat of an attack. That's what the Homeland Security and the CIA and FBI are all saying right now. Now, New York does represent Wall Street. Washington, D.C., that's the head of the government. Chicago, that represents the central banking system, the reserve of things. So I personally think that they stumbled upon something that wasn't going to be centered to just New York. I think there's going to be a synchronized attack across the United States on key cities. That's what I believe was going to happen. And we don't know what plans is for our area. I do know that Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is forefront for intelligence inside this country right now. They report directly to the Pentagon now. Every intelligence coming in from Europe goes to Wright-Pat, and from Wright-Pat, it moves on to Washington. So right now, I think people need to be preparing for what is seen as well as what is unseen at this time. So let's start off with water first, which when it comes to water, you need to know where to procure it, how to store it, how to purify it. And you need to have a reserve. I like the 55-gallon drums. You want the ones that are designed for food grade drums. You don't want the other ones, because the other ones, the walls and even the plastic 5-gallon buckets, you want to turn the buckets over and look on the bottom. There should be a triangle on the bottom that has the number 2 in it. That means it's food grade. Anything else has asbestos in it to make the walls up strong, and you don't want that. You store and food and water in. So you want to get food grade drum. You can use these to harvest water with from your gutter systems. You can also use them for water reserves inside your house, because a lot of people don't realize how much water you're going to use. Now, I go by the rule of 3, which is, and it's a saying that they have in the survival community. You can survive 3 minutes without air. You can survive 3 hours of severe weather without shelter or warmth. You can survive 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. That's the rule of thumb. They call it the rule of 3. So under the rule of 3, you're only going to survive 3 days without water, okay? And I'm going to give you an example. Say I take that bottle of water over there, I drink it all the way down to where I fully hydrate. Okay, I'm good to go. After so much time passes by, when I become, say, 2% dehydrate, I feel thirsty. At 5% dehydration, man, I'm extremely parched. And we're only talking 5%. Okay. At, say, 10% dehydration, my organs are getting close to shutting down. I'm having brain fog, my vision's getting blurry, I'm having internal pains in my kidneys, liver, stuff starting to give me trouble. At 12 to 15% dehydration, death ensues. You're not going to survive. And we're only talking 15% dehydration. Okay? So if someone tells me that they're having headaches, they're having pain, first thing I'm going to ask them is, when's the last time you had some water? And then I can determine at what stage you're at that point.
Get ready to elevate your preparedness. We are thrilled to announce the grand opening of Refuge Depot, your new one-stop shop for emergency preparedness and survival gear. Whether you're a seasoned prepper or just starting your journey towards self-reliance, we have everything you need to build resilience and peace of mind. Explore our extensive selection of high-quality survival essentials, from water filtration systems and emergency food supplies to first aid kits and outdoor equipment. Beyond products, Refuge Depot is a community hub dedicated to empowering you with knowledge. Dive into our insightful news and information blog. Catch our engaging vlogs on emergency preparedness and horticulture, and expand your understanding with our diverse collection of audio and ebooks. We're also passionate about fostering food independence and supporting local economies through our Grow Your Own Food and Support Local Farms campaign. Visit us today at Refuge Depot and start building a more secure future. The link is in the description. Plan, prepare, survive. Together, we thrive.
Now, with 55-gallon drum, what I have here, I got the drum at Tractor Supply, that you can go online through Amazon and you can order these, okay? Now, if you buy them brand new, they're going to cost you $100-something bucks. If you buy them used, then you want to make sure if they're used that there's only food grade products in it. Because you'll see guys that there would have been paint in these, or there might be lead-based chemicals in them, and they'll sell them for you for $40 or $30. You put water in and drink it, you got a problem. So people are going to start dying. So if you buy them used, make sure that they had only food grade products in them. Tractor Supply, this is only 10 foot of hose. Then it has a little valve here that you can put a hole in and screw that down in and screw this to it. And then if you're setting it upside, you put it on about 5 cinder blocks, set it up, set it on top of it, get a diverter, what they call a rain diverter off of Amazon. They're going to run you about $27, $28. Install that on your gutter spouting. Run this from your gutter spouting down to your drum, and you'll be able to harvest rainwater that way. And then the diverter has a valve on it that you turn, and it shuts off the water to where the water will continue to go down your gutter. It will no longer go to your drum. But inside your house, in my basement, I have a wash tub, and in an emergency, I would just connect this to my wash tub and then quickly fill this up. Okay, I won't be sitting there dipping water in because that's going to take forever. Now, I strongly recommend, and I get these kits in from time to time, this is Aquamira water treatment. It has 2 bottles inside of it with liquid in. I take a glass jar or just a glass, combine the chemicals. For this size drum, I would empty the whole thing into it. And I wait, let it have its chemical reaction. When it turns yellow, I pour it in the bottom, put my water hose in, turn the water on, and I fill it up, and I let the water go on in, mix that chemical up. Once the chemical is in this drum, and I put that lid on, this water will be good to drink for 5 years. Wow. There will be no algae growing in it. There will be no bacteria or anything growing in it. I pushed it as far as 4 years. I haven't tried the 5 years, but I have pushed 4 years to just make sure that's true. And then when you start to get the water out, I go by the military saying that 2 is 1, 1 is none. Okay. I'm not going to drink it. You know it's supposed to be good. This is already purified it. I'm either going to boil that water for at least 1 to 2 minutes to ensure it, or I'm going to use a water filter. Because I'm going to put it through 2 different ways of purification. Because if you make a mistake in survival, someone's going to get sick, but somebody's going to die. So 2 is 1, 1 is none. So I'm going to put my water through at these 2 different tests before I see now. Now, these you can get in Walmart or Myers and Sporting Goods department. They're going to run you somewhere around 17 to 40 bucks. How's good was? Good. I'm glad you can make it, man. Really glad you can make it. These will filter out microorganisms out of water. But I'm going to tell you this. If you go to a creek or river and you're drinking straight out of the river, this makes the water safe to drink. However, if you see gasoline or oil floating in the water, don't use that water. That will not filter that type of stuff out. Okay, so know that. You can set up a water reserve in your house. You were purchasing a water B-O-B off of Amazon. They're going to run you about $36, $37. It's a bladder that rolls out into your bathtub. You run it up to your spout, turn on your cold water, and as that bladder fills up, it turns your bathtub into a 65 to 70 gallon water storage tank. It has a squeeze ball filter that comes with it. I mean, not filter, the pump, to where you can take water out. The only problem is you can't use the bathtub to bathe in at that point, but it becomes a reserve. Also, by going to your shutoff, water shutoff in your house and turning that off, your main shutoff, it reserves the water that's in your water heater. So that's your other reserve at that point. You got 40, 60, 80 gallon water heater. That gives you an additional amount. Now, once you shut that main shutoff off, so no contaminated water to come in at that point, you want to go to your fuse box and flip the switch over that heats the water heater. You want that water to cool, okay? And then you can put a garden hose up to it, and you can drain water out as you need it at that point. But for sanitation purposes, cleaning your body, or flushing that toilet, and you got to be able to flush that toilet. Because when that toilet starts backing up, you're going to end up with a cholera epidemic inside your house. And or some sort of disease outbreak, and you don't want that. So I have a saying, that if it's yellow, it's mellow, but if it's brown, flush it down. But if you wash your body, save that water goes into the back of that toilet to flush that toilet. You're going to have to conserve water as much as you can. And any number of these drums that you got on hand that you can put in your house, that adds to the reserve that you got. Because I've had people tell me, and I knew one guy, he's passed away. He had over 100 guns. And I told him, well, that's great, but you're only going to last so long as you got food and water. If I outlast you, I'll just come in and get the free guns that you offered for me and didn't realize it, you know. So food and water is going to be key. And then water, no, you can only go 3 days without it. That's more important than food. You go 21 days without food, but you're only going to go 3 days without water.
Get ready to elevate your preparedness. We are thrilled to announce the grand opening of Refuge Depot, your new one-stop shop for emergency preparedness and survival gear. Whether you're a seasoned prepper or just starting your journey towards self-reliance, we have everything you need to build resilience and peace of mind. Explore our extensive selection of high-quality survival essentials, from water filtration systems and emergency food supplies to first aid kits and outdoor equipment. Beyond products, Refuge Depot is a community hub dedicated to empowering you with knowledge. Dive into our insightful news and information blog. Catch our engaging vlogs on emergency preparedness and horticulture, and expand your understanding with our diverse collection of audio and ebooks. We're also passionate about fostering food independence and supporting local economies through our Grow Your Own Food and Support Local Farms campaign. Visit us today at Refuge Depot and start building a more secure future. The link is in the description. Plan, prepare, survive. Together, we thrive.
If the power grid goes down, we get attacked by an EMP weapon, which North Korea has them, China has them, Russia has them, Iran will soon have them. They can drop a satellite, a weaponized satellite into low orbit over the United States, detonate it. 2 of them across the United States will cover the entire United States, half of Canada and half of Mexico will be in total darkness. Anything with computer chip in it is going to be fried. Your car's computer chips and your solenoid in your car will be fried. The survival group that I used to be with, called Miami Valley Preparedness, a bunch of their guys went to the local junkyard and they purchased computer chips for their cars and the extra solenoid so that when that day comes, they're still going to have a car running versus somebody that won't. And but at that point, even law enforcement will try to confiscate your vehicles, so you got to keep that in mind too. But the hose And the center blocks would be Lowe's. I sell this product for about $23. These are anywhere from $19 to $23, but during times of disaster, they go up real high. And then I have something here called a water brick. You can't afford these, and you can get 5-gallon, or this is 3.5 gallon. Keeps the nutter set up. They're notched. These are fully stackable. I can stack up a wall of these if I have, or they do have things that you carry, and you can buy water spouts that you can turn on and turn off. They're kind of pricey. They're close to about $30 a piece, but it gives you a stackable option. If you're tight on storage space, say you live in an apartment or a condo, you can stack these up to 4 foot high in your closet and still have room to hang your clothes. You can also put these up under the edge of the bed as long as your bed's not sitting on a platform, and you can have water storage right underneath your bed and use that space that's doing nothing but collecting dust bunnies. Okay. But if you're going to buy water storage containers, make sure that they're stackable. Okay. Then let's go to food. Dayton sits on the aquifer. Now there's certain parks, Inglewood Park is one of them, that has natural springs, and they have pumps out there to where you can go get water. There's even a place on Wolf Creek Pike going toward Bellbrook that you can pull up there and fill up water containers. And it sits at the bottom of a hill. All that rainwater soaked through that dirt has been self-purified. And when it comes up into that aquifer and they got that pump, they're pumping it out, that water's almost safe to drain straight out. Right? Didn't they send it down, but does it soften? I haven't heard that, because I know there's still people going out there to it.
Oh, okay.
But anything's possible. But a thing that you need to understand, if we get into a situation where water becomes critical in the world of nature, predatory animals stake out water sources so that they can eat. And fire teams will strike out water sources so that they can get you. So happens with that in mind when you go out there. And let's get into food. Any food that you're buying should have long-term shelf life. Like canned Spam, it's got 5 or 6 years. And actually, as long as it's not open, the can's not dented, there's no cracks in it, no rust on it, it goes well beyond that. Okay. You want foods that are calorie dense. You want to feel satiated to where you feel full. You don't want to buy foods that are like Chinese food, to where I ate till I was full, but an hour and a half later, I'm hungry again. You want to feel satiated. So I want to get calorie dense foods. We're going with canned goods, canned meats, canned fruits, canned vegetables. I like whole meals in a canned chili, Denton beef stew. It's got all your nutrients, calorie dense, long shelf life. If you're into survival foods, you're ex-military, the MREs, meals ready to eat, are excellent. Where do you get those? You can get them at Wright Patterson Air Force Base. They're going to run you about $17 a piece. Now, what you have to understand when you're dealing with food, for your body to function properly and the organs continue functioning, you need at least 1,000 calories a day for your body functioning. Okay. Now, these MREs have 1,200 to 1,400 calories in them. And the way these are set up, you have a fork, spoon, you got napkin, you have packet of coffee, cream or sugar, you have piece of candy, you have cookies, you have trail mix. All in that bag? All in this bag. In fact, let me show you. It's a complete meal kit to itself. And I like them because you can get 5 years, as long as you keep them between, 70 to 80 degrees temperature. But if you start getting into an environment where they're hotter than that, then you're going to have a problem, because now you're only get, say, 90 to 100 degrees. You're only going to get 6 months shelf life out of. So they're definitely temperature sensitive. Okay, this will be your main entree right here. It's inside a cellophane pack. This is 2-bean vegetable chili. I've had it. It's vegetarian, but you can't tell the difference. And what I want to say now, and I'm going to say it again at the end of the day, any equipment or foods that you buy, try it first, okay? Because if you're not going to eat it, your nutrition level is going to go down, and you can't afford that. You want to maintain your health as best possible in a survival situation. So this has all the requirements in it. I eat it cold, or I can heat it up. Inside this packet here, as you can see, is these little candies. You have a creamer, coffee, sugar, spoon, napkin. Now, the coffee, I will tell you this, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I only recommend heating up a half a cup of coffee. Because if you put a whole cup of coffee in, a whole cup of water, this packet, the coffee's kind of weak. But if you go with a half a cup of water, it makes it taste like regular coffee, okay? This right here is a big shortbread cookie. All right. This here are crackers. Saltine type crackers for your chili. Okay. This is peanut butter for your crackers. Here's your nut and raisin mix, your trail mix. And then this here I like. It's your beverage powder. Pour it into your canteen, pour it into your bottled water. And if some people like to use iodine tablets, which makes the water taste real brackish to me, I can't stand the taste. But you add this powder mix to it, it makes it more palatable to be able to drink. But if it's in the hot summer months to where your electrolytes are going to be off, this has electrolytes in it like Gatorade would, and it will put you back on balance. That's what an MRE has in it. I mean, technically, you can get by on just 1 a day. 2 a day would help you maintain your body weight where you won't lose any body weight. 3 a day is cool, but it's kind of a waste of resources to me to do 3 a day. But if you're in a situation where you're putting in a lot of work to where you need the extra calories, then I would go with 3 a day.
$70 each?
Yes. Well, the whole pack is $17.
Right, yeah. Well, I'm a deal. I'll take you out to concert deal.
Yeah, you'd be able to get them cheaper.
Yeah,
I'd be. Yeah. Now, if
what about making hummus?
Huh?
What about making the hummus?
Making what?
Hummus where you take the meat, you put some blueberries in there for the half, and that'll last 100 years.
They got something called something tack. I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head. They ate it during the Civil War, and it was something like what you were saying. It had flour, berries, or something mixed in. Hardtack is what they call it.
Okay.
And you can make that. Now, this is freeze-dried. This is different. You don't add water to this. You add hot water to these. I've had almost every brand out there, and I can tell you, these two are the best tasting by far.
What is that?
This is Mountain House, and this is Peak Refuge. They both come with 2 servings per pack. Now, the difference in the two for me, because I have a salt sensitivity, my feet, if I get too much salt into me, my feet start to swell up, my legs swell up a little bit. Mountain House has a higher sodium content, but Mountain House has a 50-year shelf life. Okay. This says 2-year shelf life, but you can go easy 20 off of one of these. So let me explain why I showed that. Your food pantry that you're going to set up is going to be set up on 4 stages, okay? The first stage is going to be all the food that's going to expire within a day or 2. Because when that power grid goes down, the refrigerator is good for 24 hours, your deep freeze is good for 36 hours, and after that, you got to hurry up and cook. You have to either pickle, dry, sugar coat, do different jerk the meat, smoke the meat. There'd be different things that you could do to extend the life of it. but you're going to lose the majority of it. That's for sure. So the first stage is what's going to be perishable that you have to consume first. The second stage is going to be your canned goods and your MREs, because you're going to get 5 to 8 year shelf life out of it, maybe even 10 on the MREs. The freeze dry food would be your third stage. Any dry products, rice, beans, spaghetti, things that you're going to package up in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, which you will have a class on that, and I will show you how to do that. And we'll use 5-gallon buckets to store those in, because I can tell you right now, spaghetti with some jars of spaghetti put back, just spaghetti sauce, that could be Friday night's meal right there, and all you need is hot water to have a meal. Rice, different dry products with your freeze dry food, it's going to do your 20 to 30 year shelf life. And then after that, your fourth stage is going to be your renewable food sources, which means you're going to have seed bank. Now, if we get into that time period and you have to leave your house and people know you have resources, your house is going to get raided out. So what you want to do.
Tornado Survival Guide. Essential steps before, during, and after. In the face of one of nature's most powerful and destructive forces, it is crucial to equip ourselves with the knowledge and tools necessary to protect ourselves, our loved ones, and our homes. This comprehensive guide is designed to provide you with the essential steps and strategies to navigate the treacherous path of a tornado and emerge safely on the other side.
Is you want to be able to hide your seed bank. This right here is a photo album, okay? And in my photo album, I will have this stored back with my photo albums. No one's going to steal my family photos. And it is actually my seed bank, okay? I have different pages here, different types of seeds. So you want to be as creative as you can. If I'm talking too fast, I'm just trying to get enough information in the time that we got allotted here. So I don't want to overwhelm anybody. If anyone's got questions, please ask, because I don't want to get too far ahead.
What seeds do you recommend?
Heirloom seeds.
I mean, but what kinds of plants? Any kind?
Just about any kind, because it's got to be food that you're willing to eat. I don't like eggplant, so I'm not going to have no eggplant seeds. That there defeat the purpose for me to have seeds for something that I'm not going to eat. So it's got to be foods that you know that you will eat. And again, you want to start a garden as soon as possible. I don't care if it's just a container garden, a few pots inside the house or outside the house. You got to get that experience. Just like with this MRE. You may not like it, but if you got a flary kitchen, right, and you stock back some spices and some herbs, you might know how to fix that up. Same way with these here. So, but you only know that if you practice ahead of time. You don't want to be reading owner's manuals and trying to figure out how to do something when you're in the middle of a crisis.
Hey, Brother Aaron, can you let the people know what heirloom?
Heirloom seeds produce generation after generation of plants. Okay. You'll have heirloom seeds, you'll have hybrid, and you'll have GMO. I don't want GMO nothing. Right. Most of them will not create future generations of plants, and then they cause cancer of people. That's the reason why China and Russia threw Cargill and some other people out of their country and burnt them damn plants down, because the corn and different things was creating disease basically inside people's bodies. I go by a rule. If it's made by God and it has seeds in it, it's not made by God, it won't have seeds here. So you see you see seedless grapes, seedless watermelons, that's GMO. Right. You can read on the back of packages, like even Reese cups, and you see GMO. And you're giving that to your kids, and you're wondering why autism and different things is forming in young children. It's because of what they're putting in this food that they're giving to us. Right.
What about saving seeds? What about saving seeds?
That would be excellent to do. And that gives you the seed bank that you want. Because if you cannot create a renewable food source, when your initial stocks run out, you're out, and you want to have plenty of seeds because you could go through a season and have crop failure due to bugs, local. I know this year, between the possums, raccoons, 2 groundhogs, they've been nailing me pretty good. I got an archery range set in my backyard. I've been tempted to go out there and shoot their little pups. I've been put food out for them, hoping if I feed them, they'll leave my stuff alone. But I got to figure something out because I
Plant enough for you and them. That's how I do. You plant enough so they can do it too. That's good. That's how you do it.
So, I do got plans to expand my garden next year, so that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. But let's see, we're on food there. As I said, 4 stages to the food. If you can cover those 4 stages, you're pretty set. Okay, and let's get into first aid. Now, when it comes to first aid, I bought 2 first aid kits, and then I added a bunch of stuff to it. You want to have over-the-counter meds as much as you can, anything that gives relief. All right, you got stomach problems, you want to have antacids. In a crisis, some of the people in the household, there are 2 things that's going to happen. They're either going to get stopped up where they can't use the bathroom, or they're going to have runaway bowels because of stress. They're out of their comfort zone. Right, okay. So you're going to want to enter diarrhea, and you might want to stock a laxative for those that get bound up from their diet suddenly change. Hepatitis NSAIDs, Advil, Tylenol, aspirin, cortisone cream for skin rashes, allergy medicine, cold and flu reliefs, acetaminophen, burn gel, Neosporin, which is a cream that you put on stuff that kills bacteria and wounds. Because if someone becomes infected, infection always turns to something else, and then you got somebody possibly dying. If you don't have antibiotics stocked up, you're in trouble. Now, if you want to stock antibiotics, what's the name of that place? It'll come to me before the end. I just had mine white just then. But
I need to know that, bro.
yeah. But with the first aid kit, you're going to want to add a tourniquet. Okay. Any extremity kit that's deep, you're going to need one of these. Bottom line of this, if you will control bleeding, you can save a person's life. So you want to have at least 2 of these in your kit. If it's really bleeding and it's not an arterial hit, then quick clot or bleed stop. This is a hemostatic agent. It gels blood, makes it where it will clot. And at that point, you can get control of bleeding. Again, you can save their life. So you're talking quick clot or bleed stop. Now, you can get this at Myers, where you get their prescriptions and over-the-counter meds. It's going to run you probably about $15, and I think it's got maybe 4 packs of this is in each box. To combat, guys, the quick clot is hard to find. You'd get that at gun shows or survivor shows. Oh, on the antibiotics, go on a website called JACE, Jase, and they have something called a JACE case. And they will sell you a case that has a book in it that say someone has gangrene. It'll tell you what medicines to use and how many pills of each one to treat that. Okay, so it comes with a very informative book. They send you 5 antibiotics, but you're only allowed to buy 1 a year. All right. Okay. So keep that in mind when you get ready to order.
So you buy it for several years and then allow.
Oh, you got antibiotics, even when they go beyond the expiration date, they're still good. They start to lose their potency a little bit, but they still can be used. There are some meds out there that if you try to go beyond their potency date too far, they become poisonous. But most of the antibiotics won't. Now, push comes to shove, you can also use veterinarian meds. Because when it comes to antibiotics, The same antibiotic you would have for a dog or a fish is the same antibiotic for human. Penicillin for them is penicillin for us because we're all mammals. And people don't realize it. The medicine for the humans go through 2 more filtering processes that for the animal it doesn't. But all mammals take basically the same antibiotics. I learned that when I was studying I was watching real close to Bosnia and Serb war. When they ran low on humanitarian supplies, they immediately went to the veterinary places and raided them for the medicines. I even saw them using women's feminine napkins that were unscented and the tampons. Yeah. Tampons went right into bullet holes, soak up, and they would expand and would stop the bleeding. And they would have duct tape. That feminine napkin would go over a wound. A duct tape would go around it, and it would form a pressure bandage in an emergency. But it had to be unscented. If it was scented, it would cause an infection. Okay, so that makes a difference.
What's it said that they put the scent where the woman is going to put it? It's in the
Yeah, some sort of deodorant. Wow. But it's not good to be on the inside of your body, walk around in your bloodstream. It's all right. Okay. So let's get into security, because with all the stuff that you're stocking, it means nothing if you can't hose it. Okay.
Are you ready to take control of your health and empower your immune system? Introducing Immunity Empowerment, a comprehensive guide to understanding and enhancing your immune system. For those looking for a holistic method to boost the immune system, Immunity Empowerment is the book for you. Learn how your immune system functions and discover the key to its strength and resilience. From the shadows of slavery to the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, explore the pre-existing conditions that have disproportionately affected the Black community, such as diabetes, hypertension, and obesity. Western medicine often takes a compartmentalized approach, where sometimes the cure can seem worse than the disease. Uncover the implications of Western medications and why they come with side effects. The hope is not lost. Meet the nutritional superheroes, foods, herbs, and vitamins like vitamin C, zinc, garlic, and antioxidants that can supercharge your immune system. Discover the science of fasting and its profound health benefits when done mindfully and safely. Breathing properly, such as diaphragmatic breathing, can have positive effects on your immune system and overall health. Never underestimate the power of a good night's rest. Sleep is crucial for your overall health and immune system. Understand the life-saving power of breastfeeding and its benefits for both mothers and children. Be aware of depopulation and immunity-weakening culprits. Learn about the foods that negatively affect your immune system. Sugar, the greatest drug on earth. Discover how it undermines your immune system. The mind-body connection is powerful. Positive thinking can boost your immunity, while negative thoughts can weaken it. Enhance your physical and mental resilience with regular physical activities like walking or yoga, and mental exercises like mindfulness and stress reduction. Never underestimate the power of prayer. It profoundly impacts your well-being by connecting mind, body, and spirit. Healthy relationships are key. Find resources aimed at improving health within the Black community. Escape media madness. Learn how media shapes young minds and how to protect them from harmful images and messages. Explore the impact of alpha waves and mood music on your health and well-being. Cultivate abundance by building your home garden for self-sufficiency and improved well-being. Discover alternative forms of building and maintaining health. Empower your immune system today. Get your copy of Immunity Empowerment and start your journey to better health. Available now, get the softback at Amazon or the ebook with hot links to references and resources at Amazon, Gumroad, and Patreon.